Okay. A little bit of science class here, right? You all get to be sort of ball engineers for a few minutes. Sound good?
Yes.
Sure? All right. So before we get into the high science of the golf balls and what we've done, I wanted to just ask you guys a couple questions, golf ball related. So when you go out to a round of golf, you take a ball out of that sleeve and play that ball. How often are you switching a ball through a round? Like, is there a tradition every three holes, or after you make a birdie? What is it for you? I'll start. We'll just go around the table.
Once I notice a mark on it, so it could be after one hole if I hit a wedge shot, it could be after 6 holes if I haven't hit a wedge shot. So it just whenever I notice a first scuff or a first sort of mark on it, that's when I change.
So how many on average through a round?
On average, probably 9. Probably
9 balls.
Yeah.
9.
Wow. Okay.
How many
Brooke,
golf
what do you
balls
think?
do you keep in your bag?
A dozen. I usually carry a dozen. Yeah.
Well, you don't carry it.
Well, I don't carry it.
Well, the first part of Rory's answer is the same as mine. Like, as soon as I notice a scuff or something, then I'll switch it out. But typically, maybe like 3 or 4 times around.
Okay,
Not so
3 or
much.
4. Colin?
Same thing, unless I'm making bogeys and those balls are out
Yeah.
very quick.
Okay.
I would say I'm probably like 5 to 6. Well, I think when I first started, I was like 1 ball full round.
Is that right?
I'm that now.
Yeah.
I've got like OCD. I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah, I think if it's like a day where you might start off with like 5 birdies in a row, like I'm not taking that out.
Okay. All right. Tommy?
Yeah, the ball's got to stay if it's going well. Like, I can't make a birdie with the ball and throw it out for a scuff. Like, it's staying in, I'll figure it out. I probably give a ball like 3 or 4 holes as well to make a birdie, and if it's not working, then that one can change.
Okay. Not performing, it's out.
Yeah,
Okay.
even if it's my fault. Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay. And Charlie,
Like
we know
me-
your answer now.
Yeah, but me and my caddy have an argument sometimes. It's like there's a little scratch. I'm like, yeah, but I kind of like this ball. He's like, come on, you got it, and then he'll just like change it. But I'm at home. I don't know if it's because I was younger. Like we used to go out ball hunting, and like a good ball would be like amazing. I'd play like 4 rounds of it. Like
Yeah.
at home, I still play with the same ball twice, and I get told off. Like,
Like
so
stop
I'm just- I
practice
like
on it, and it's like a...
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give my golf ball 9 holes, and if it's not performing, then I'll switch after 9. But if I'm playing well, then I'll play with 1 ball the entire round.
Okay.
I'll max go 3 during 1 round.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1 to 9. So we're changing balls. It's the one piece of equipment.
Starting to feel very wasteful.
Yeah, Roy's like a ball hole.
It's the one piece of equipment you use on every shot, and then you're switching throughout a round. So that's quite interesting, different than all the other pieces of equipment in your bag. Now, when you go out and test new balls, I know, and we don't probably have the time to go through each of you, but when you're testing new balls, do you have a process you go through? How long does it take? Maybe a couple of you can kind of give me insights into that. Nell, you've been testing recently.
Yeah. I go from the green back, making sure that I like the way it reacts when I'm chipping, when I'm putting, and then I kind of work my way back to like irons and driver.
Okay.
But for me, I hit a lot of flighted golf shots, so I tend to spin it a little lower. So just making sure that it's kind of hitting in that gap that I want, but I work from the green back.
Okay. Anybody else do green back?
I guess I haven't been, but the ball switch that I made, I guess in 2025 was from the greenback, and I stumbled upon the ball,
Right.
and started chipping around, being like, oh, this feels really good. And then, you go from chips to like 50-yard shots, then to 100-yard shots, and it just every sort of area, it felt just as good as the last. So, and that's the first time I'd really sort of went with that process of going from the greenback.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, okay, throughout the testing process, do you think about consistency in that golf ball as well? Again, you're switching out quite a bit. You're testing all these different shots. I know we think about it a lot, but how often do you think about the consistency of your golf ball?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I start with my irons. I just feel like you have the most shots with irons, and that's a big component for me to see how it's going to curve, because every ball is going to fall differently. Every ball is going to launch differently, and if it's not fitting that window, then it's a hard fit to even put in, because then you're going to change things. Like we adjust, I think all of us adjust so much if you give us enough time with a product that sometimes it goes against what you're trying to actually do, but then you forget that because of what you see. So consistency is huge. Like if that first ball or those initial 5 to 10 balls are what you like to see, then when you take it out on the golf course and you play in different conditions, you're hitting different shots to pins or putting, whatever, it's huge. And if you start seeing that repetitive process, and it's like you trust the ball a lot more.
Right. Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Well, here we have in front of you all 3 balls each. And I want you to take a look at, you can pick them up. I want you to look at each of these balls to see if you can see a difference in any of them. Obviously, there's a line and a dot, so pay no attention to that. But can you see a difference between these balls?
Yeah, these two.
Dimple.
Well, dimple
Yes.
pattern is way
Yeah.
different with the one with the
Way.
line on it.
This
Dimple
one's
patterns are the
sharper.
same.
Sorry, dimple pattern?
Dimple.
Sorry,
What about the,
dimple,
like, the
dimple,
sharpness?
dimple depth then, or
Yeah.
dimple.
Yes.
Yeah, this one's like the moon.
Yeah. This one almost looks like it has like a circle.
Will this will be softer?
Nope.
Hmm.
Softness is the same.
They're all the same.
Well, no, you know, like the spinny thing.
Yeah,
like
the spin, yeah.
yeah.
Well, what's
Maybe
I-
the coating.
okay?
Okay, the coating maybe.
Yeah, because this one looks shinier
This
than
one's
this one.
this one's got more of like the gaps between the dimples are slightly more pronounced, like a little larger.
I would say this one's shinier than this one. Is
Is the
that
seam different on one of them?
Say it again.
Is the seam different on one of them?
I think the blue's the best one.
I love how meticulous all of you are. We're talking Superman power vision here we're looking at. But the reality is that all of these balls in front of you are all, the insides are all identical. The dimple designs are all identical. But there is an invisible problem.
Different paint.
There's an invisible problem on 2 to 3 of these are a real problem.
Blue's got to be the best one. I'm putting my money there.
But the reality is that the paint is sort of paramount for performance. So you're not done once you go to the inside, then you create and design this great dimple pattern. And then we've uncovered this part of the outside of the golf ball that makes a huge difference. So when you really dive into the inside, you think about paint. So I'm going to show you this on screen. We have to go to the sort of microscopic level. And if you think about like painting a room, if you've ever painted a room and you put a lot of paint on that wall, what happens, right? Paint starts to drip, starts to pool.
You
and
paint
so
all
on
the
and so
time,
forth.
Colin, right?
Yeah,
you're
I'll
a big pain.
give you guys artwork for holidays. Just give me your address.
And so you can get sections that are not painted as much, some that are painted as much. Now imagine a golf ball that's round, it's got dimples, and gravity takes over, and you're trying to paint it. It's really tricky. Okay, so before I go any further, I want you guys to take one of these slides and pass that along.
Thank you.
Okay. Brooke, what do you see in that slide? You can point it up towards the light in the room. You can see. What do you see there?
Well, a weird circle and then also a hair, yeah.
A hair. Yeah. It's actually Tommy's hair.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it
Don't
be?
know where from.
We are not inspecting Tommy's hair today, but we are using it as sort of contextual for the size in terms of what matters. In fact, like the problem that we are uncovering is less than the thickness of Tommy's hair.
Pretty thick hair.
So if we bring it back now to what you're looking at there, when you look at the top right, so the thickness of that black section there,
Is this my hair?
this is not your hair, 27 micrometers. Okay, so 27 micrometers, that's about the half the thickness of your hair, okay, of one strand of hair. And the difference between 27 micrometers and down below, like the fourth one down, where it's 68 micrometers, is 41 micrometers. And that's a big difference. You can see sort of the paint pooling at the bottom of that dimple.
Yeah.
And so most golf balls are painted 3 times. You put a paint of white on there, you let it dry. You put another paint of white on there, you let it dry. And then you put the clear coat on there and you let it dry. And so it's a very complicated process. And when you see the differences, just in terms of those thicknesses, it can matter for performance. So now to actually see it, let's have you look in the microscope. We're going to actually look at the layers of the golf ball, the outer paint. If you want to focus it, you can take the dial on your right hand. Can anybody see it?
Yeah.
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 What do you see, Rory?
I see the core and the green layer. Is that the mantle?
So most of these are going to be a little bit uneven, even at the peaks and the valleys.
Yes.
Yeah, there is like
Okay.
a little like ridge.
Little ridge. So at the frets, they call it, sort of the top of the dimple, it's very
Yes.
easy again for that paint to kind of pool down into the bottom.
Yeah.
Mine's got quite a big slope in it.
Yeah. So that's the dimple, right? So it's going to come down and up. All right. So now we're seeing the problem through the microscope. Now, what does that mean for you all in terms of performance or for golfers that are just picking a ball out of that sleeve? I want to show you that on the screen. So some of these we call sort of heavy painted or pooled painting in the dimples, and others are sort of uneven painting.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see how those balls perform on a robot. So you can look at the distance or look at the flight.
Also different.
So what are we seeing?
No consistency.
Very inconsistent
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah. So these are pretty extreme cases, right? But these are the balls that you're looking at right here. You can't see it, but that's the difference in performance of each of these balls. And the distance difference, what happens is when the pooling goes in the dimple like that, you get more turbulent airflow and it wants to kind of lift. And so it can rob you of distance. And even if it's a little bit off, it could be a couple yards, and 2 yards could be a massive difference.
Pretty crazy.
So yeah, we're seeing, you could see upwards of 10 to 20 yard difference on a drive in a very extreme case. But if even, like I said, if it's a yard or 2 yards or a little bit offline, when you think you've hit the same shot, it could really ultimately
Time out.
change how you.
With the paint, you can see a 10 to 20 yard difference.
You can, absolutely. On a very poorly done ball, right? The balls that you guys are testing aren't that extreme.
Oh, okay.
Okay, not even close.
So like, like them lake balls when people go and get them out the lake and they like repaint them.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
really bad. Really bad. Yeah.
I don't get them obviously, but I mean, just when you see them in the pro shops back home.
Right, Charley. Right.
Yeah.
right.
She's selling them.
Because when I was younger, I used to go ball hunting around the golf course, and I used to like sell them back into the pro shop. So I got money to buy chicken burger in the pro.
Businesswoman.
Little did you know what you
Little
did to their
hustler.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so our team dove in, right, to this, what was invisible, made it visible, and then went to solve it. And so what we've created in the new TP5 and 5X golf balls for 2026 is called microcoating. And so that final step, we've designed the dimple the way it is, and now the coating that goes on the outside of the ball has to be even and uniform, and so that the dimple performs the way we've designed it. And every golf ball company has this challenge, everyone. And so that every ball that you pull out of your bag, out of that sleeve, performs exactly the same. And so when you're looking at this screen, this is uneven paint on the left and microcoating on the right. So you can really see the difference. These are 200 times magnified. So again, you had already seen the one on the left,
Wow.
and now microcoating on the right.
So just less paint then?
So there's less paint and more uniform, same durability, but because you're putting less paint in, it's consistent across the entire dimple. You're getting that consistent flight on all your shots.
So it doesn't affect like scuffing, like a
I was going to
wedge.
say,
Like we
does
put in
less
a
paint
wedge.
make a
Right.
difference to...
It's equally as durable, but just more uniformly applied. Yep. Good question, though.
So Rory's still going through 9 balls of round.
Yeah, but it's using a lot less paint, so...
Save the environment?
Yeah, better sustainability.
Okay, so you guys want to see what the new TP5 5X with microcoating, how they perform.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look.
Baby draws.
To
Perfect.
see it.
It's a perfect baby draw.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
Bit of a left bias, but it's hard to not.
Yeah, Collin, you're gonna get dead straight.
So you don't get that lift on some of those bad ones. But again, like we're showing you a little bit of the extreme case, but like any difference.
Yeah, you're looking
between
at
any ball.
consistency.
The peak height is unbelievable. The consistency of that peak height.
Right.
So I find finding the right ball when it's in the wind as well. Like,
Yeah.
so it doesn't get too spinny. Like that's
right.
what I kind of go with first, and then like start putting and getting it feel around the greens and that. And especially like 3/4 shots when you hit them punchy ones.
Yep. You want that. So it's one thing to get the spin when you get it off the launch monitor, right? And it's another thing how that dimple's going to fly after that, which is not shown on that monitor.
Yeah.
And so at the Kingdom, we measure to 3 inches all the way throughout that flight,
Wow.
which is incredible. So the new TP5 and 5X with microcoating in 2026, our job is to take something that's very complicated like this and make it really simple for golfers to understand, because not everybody can be in the room with us, kind of go through this session in this lab. So we actually created a piece of content that I think might put a good bow on what we've described and talked about and the technology that we have implemented in the new golf ball. So you want to take a look at this.
Every golfer is chasing consistency, but no two golf balls are ever identical, even from the same exact sleeve. The 2026 TP5 sets out to change that through one subtle improvement that you might not expect: how the golf ball is painted. In the modern golf ball, paint is treated as an afterthought, just a glossy finish to make the ball look new and protect from UV and stains. But in reality, it's also the only part of the ball that actually touches the air. And when that paint goes on unevenly, it could flood the dimples and disrupt airflow, causing turbulent ball flight like you'd feel on an airplane, making some shots balloon up while others push and pull more than you expect. Now imagine the dimples on a golf ball as a mountain range, and the traditional painting behaves kinda like rain, so when it's applied it can run down the slopes and pool in the valleys. But in the new TP5 and TP5X on the right here, TaylorMade introduces a technology called microcoating, which acts more like snow, where it settles evenly across every peak and valley, forming a perfectly smooth layer for the entire surface. That layer might look invisible to the naked eye, but it's where the real precision begins. You see, the paint on a TP5 is less than 50 microns thick, roughly 1/500th of the ball's diameter, and less than the thickness of a human hair. With microcoating though, TaylorMade can now paint with a tolerance that's less than the width of a red blood cell, creating one of the biggest jumps in consistency the golf world has ever seen. To understand what it means for you, let's look at the TP5 on the testing range and see the difference between the old and the new balls. On this chart, the x-axis shows horizontal dispersion, so how far shots spread left and right, and on the y-axis shows distance variation, or how far each drive carried. The first gray ellipse on this chart shows the 2024 TP5, and the second blue one is the 2026. Same test, same everything, yet the dispersion shrinks significantly and shifts roughly 5 yards further downrange. For golfers, it's confidence that you can't actually see in your hand, but you can see in the numbers on every swing. Each ball leaves the club face the same way, flies the same way, and lands the same way. The 2026 TP5 and TP5X take what used to be an invisible detail and make it one of the most important parts of performance in your bag.
Well,
Impressive.
Well said.
Yeah.
everybody understand?
Pretty compelling, yeah.
Pretty compelling. Yeah. So we're obviously very excited for what we have coming. And again, the ability to get a technology like this that's 1/10 of the human hair that equates to performance like you're seeing there, I know it matters to all of you, and I think it matters to a lot of golfers out there. The game's hard enough as it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Moral of the story is don't use late balls anymore.
That too. Okay, any other questions? Good?
What ball was the right ball?
You nailed it. The blue ball is the micro-coated ball.
I don't know.
Yeah. You are meticulous.
What an 8.
Yeah.
What an
Well
8,
done,
yeah.
Collin.
Yeah.
Very good, Collin.
Great eye.